So today we're going to start another important subject which is actually related to the fourth year, which is actually operative dentistry. So let's start it. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So first topic we're going to study here is occlusion. So the book I'm using for this actually is Art and Science, which is actually international edition. Okay. So occlusion literally means closing when both the jaws are closed. In dentistry, the contact of teeth in opposing dental arches means when both the arches come in contact. When the jaw is closed, so we have static occlusion means closed, but during the jaw movements like during speaking, mastication, okay, like speech or any other thing, or moving your jaw forward, like, so it is in dynamic occlusal relationship. Okay, so failing to find a single adequate definition for this is actually is the optimal function. Optimal function means maximum function, means when a person or the absence of disease is the principle of good occlusion. Good occlusion means here actually when it is aesthetically and functionally stable, means when you have functional harmony, stability of masticatory system and neuromuscular harmony. Now, tooth alignment and dental arches. Here we will study central groove. So basically, when two cusps in the posterior teeth, when both two cusps separated from a distant developmental grooves, and sometimes you have actually supplemental grooves on the cusp inclines. So when both the facial cusps are separated from the lingual cusp by a deep groove, it is known as central groove. So three type of grooves we have central, supplementary, and triangular. Okay, but the main groove is actually your central groove, which actually separate your facial and lingual cusps. Okay, then you have fossa, means when you have multiple facial or lingual cusps, these are separated by facial and lingual developmental grooves. Okay, very important point. Means the depression between two cusps are termed as fossa, which is known used for multiple, for singular use for fossa. So means when you have actually here, like you have two cusps here, this is actually a fossa which separate both the cusps. Either it can separate two lingual cusps or two facial cusps. Then here I have actually a facial occlusal line. Okay, what is facial occlusal line is means when you know actually maxilla is actually larger than your mandibular. So the maxillary teeth actually or cusp overlap the mandibular cusp. Okay, due to which maximum occlusal contact can be obtained. Okay, so we have here a diagram in which you can see here how these actually the maxillary teeth actually overlap the cusps of the mandibular teeth. Okay, now basically the two curved lines has been shown over the teeth to add in the visualization that how these cusps are aligned or fossa. Okay, so here we will explain here. You can see here this is on right side, this is left side. So you can see here that maxillary on right side you have actually a line which is a lingual occlusal line because it is more towards the lingual side. Then you have central fossa line which actually stays in the central. On left side you can see here a central fossa line which moves through the central groove. On here of the mandibular left side you can see a facial occlusal line because this occlusal line is more towards the occlusal line towards the facial side. Okay, then you can see that the mandibular facial means the mandibular facial occlusal line and the maxillary central fossa line actually coincide, mean they coincide with each other. Okay, and the way the maxillary lingual line coincides with the mandibular central fossa line also. Then you have actually maximum intercuspation, which has different type of names, means intercuspal contact, maximum closure, or maximum habitual intercuspation. which is actually this diagram which I have shown you. This is actually maximum intercuspation, okay, of the opposing arches in maximum contact. Okay, it means you can see the central fossa line, then you have facial occlusal line, and then you have lingual occlusal line, and then you have central fossa line also. Okay, now you have functional cusps and non-functional cusps. So functional cusps are those cusps that are come in contact along the central fossa occlusal lines that are known as functional cusps, supporting, central, holding, and stab cusps. Non-functional cusp means the cusps that overlap the opposing teeth, and they are non-functional, means they are non-supportive, non-constricted, and non-holding. So the functional cusp, there is actually a mnemonic which is actually like F. You have actually FLUP, means the facial lower and the upper palatal cusp are in functional. Okay, remember this. Means that the mandibular facial cusps are actually cusp of posterior teeth are in functional, and the palatal cusp palatal cusp of the upper means maxilla are in functional cusp, and the mandibular lingual and the maxillary buccal cusp are non-functional. Very important point. Okay,